He has achieved immense success as an actor in Hollywood, but what really drives him has been the lasting legacy he's left behind for his people. He's experienced so much, willing to share it all in the hopes of leaving the world better off than when he came into it. A mentor and friend to countless individuals who look to him for guidance. A living legend. Yet in his heart lives a man who is the epitome of the word humble. The curtain has been lifted as we get a chance to meet the man behind the legacy. This is the life of Saginaw Grant.
Well, I was born in Oklahoma, Pawnee, Oklahoma, at the Pawnee Indian Hospital there in 1936. My mother was Iowa and Oto on her side of the family. On my dad's side, he's Sac and Fox, full-blood Sac and Fox. So I'm Sac and Fox, Iowa and Oto, but I'm a registered Sac and Fox. You know, people say that when you're a baby, you don't recall anything that happened when you were that young. But I believe that there are instances that happen in your life that you know something special happened to you. When they brought me home to my family, three medicine men came to our home, and they said he's something that is not like any other one that's born. His name, his Indian name, give him an Indian name, Wapima. That's Fish Clan. It's a chief clan. I have two brothers and a sister. They belong to the Fox clan. But they told me that they were going to take care of me, and they did. They talked to me almost every day of my life until I was 14 years old. And these were old men at that time. After they passed on, the last one to pass on was Mose Gibbs. He told me, he said, "We told you that we would not be here forever. Your other teacher have left, but I'm here to tell you one last time, remember what we told you. Remember all the things that you done growing up. You let us know what you went through, the way you felt, the things that happened in your lifetime."
Named after his extremely spiritual grandfather and influenced greatly by his grandparents, Saginaw learned the customs and traditions of his people simply by living it.
I remember going to my grandpa's, my fraternal grandpa, and spending time with my grandpa and grandmas. And they too, they kept the traditional ways. Their home, they had a good, nice home. But their table, their meal table was a long table. And it didn't have chairs around it, it had benches for all the grandchildren who came constantly and been, with them. And this was my upbringing, the way I was brought up, the traditional way. My grandpa had a lodge outside the big house. He would go out there and sing every day. Around noon, he'd go out there, he'd sing songs. He made songs. You kids can come in and sit around, listen to these songs. They're for you. If you want to dance, get up and dance. Express yourself like that to your Creator.
When my elder told me to come back to home, he said where I lived was Babylon, and that I should find powwow, because that'll keep me in balance. And the first person I met was Saginaw. And he started asking me about who I was, where I was from. I told him where I was Osage, and he says, "Oh, we're cousins." And from then on, we've been friends.
You know, I I mentioned a lot of things about my life that had taken place. I remember growing up when my uncle, who was born several months before me, older than me, just several months. In fact, we were in the Marine Corps together. When he went in, he said he was doing it for his country. And that stuck in my mind. If I go over, I'll be fighting for my people. Not this government, not for the people who run this government, but for my people, this country, my homeland.
And what I respect about Saginaw, and his story is similar to others who have, let's say, made it, as a lack of a better term. You know, he came from a time when it wasn't okay to be Indian. There was a lot of racism, and you had to almost hide what you were in that and struggle to get through life and prove yourself, to work twice as hard as somebody else to do the different things. Like he was in the Marine Corps. He's done many other occupations of hard work and putting up with people really not understanding what Native American means.
Saginaw battled alcoholism and homelessness. He found his inner strength from the lessons taught by his ancestors to overcome his struggles.
There was a year in my life that I was an alcoholic. There was a year when I was homeless. Not because I put myself in that place, because I didn't listen to my dad. He was still alive, and I didn't listen to him. I was up in San Francisco, and I woke up one morning, I was dirty, hungry, wanted to drink, needing a shaking. But yet I walked down one of the big streets up there, angry, mad at the world. And I looked up, I happened to look up, and I seen a man coming toward me, tall, slender. He wore his hair like I'm wearing mine today. I seen him coming, an Indian man. And I didn't want to see him. I didn't want him to see me. I suddenly got ashamed of myself. So I turned and I was looking in the window, pretending to look in the window. But he come up behind me. He said, "Can you help me out?" And I turned around, he was dressed nice. I said, "Help you out, how do you mean?" He said, "I want to go down on the pier, down next to the ocean. Can you show me how to get down there?" And I said, this dumb guy, he could get down there anyway. Just ask anybody. Would he ask me? And I said, "Well, yeah, I can." He said, "Well, let's get a cab." Well, how come he didn't do that in the first place, you know? So we went down there to the ocean. We got out there, and he said, "You look like you're in pain." And I told him, I said, I'm an alcoholic." I said, "I need a drink." He said, "You need a drink?" He said, "Will it make you all right?" I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Okay." And he reached in his pocket, pulled out $100 bill. He said, "Here, go get you a bottle. Get two of them," he said, "and come back here and we'll talk." I got that $100 and went to the liquor store. I got 2 bottles of wine, come back. But I didn't give him his change. Act like I forgot, but I didn't forget. I can use that later on. So we sat there. He said, "Take a drink." So I took a drink. I began to feel a little bit better. He said, "Do something for me." He said, this pier here. He says, pier. I want you to walk to the end of it. When you get out there, he said, look around and tell me what you see. So, yeah, I was going to arrange to buy me drinks. So I did. I walked out on that pier. I got to the end there and I stopped, and fog was coming in. And I looked around, and you can't see nothing in that fog up there, man. It's fog. I looked around, I didn't see nothing. He said, do you understand that? And I said, no. He said, well, we sat there and talked. Took another drink. He said, go out there again, see if it's any different. So I went out there again. Same thing. I didn't see anything, just fog. Come back. He said, I'm kind of hungry. He said, what about you? I said, yeah. He reached in his pocket and he got another $100 bill out. He said, go get us a couple sandwiches. This grocery store back here. So I grabbed it and went back there again. Went to the store, got 2 sandwiches, and I come back. But he was gone. Nobody there. But I just wanted to take off. So I sat there a while. I sat there thinking, I remember there was 2 times that I went out there. I didn't see anything. And I thought to myself, well, that's the way my life is. I'm doing things that there's no benefit at all in what I'm doing. And I had that money that changed from that wine and sandwiches. I had that money in my pocket. I could have easily went downtown and bought, I don't know how many drinks with it. But I started, after I left that bench where we was at there, I said, I quit. And I did. And I got the bus home. That money, I used that money to get a bus back to Oklahoma. And that's when I quit. Never had a drink since. I really believe that whatever it was a spirit. Because he was just like, made me feel good. It made me feel so good, I didn't want to see him. And I said, come on, looking at the window, he's there behind me. But he was responsible. I'll never know what his name was. I don't even know if he was real or not. But that's what happened.
The trials and hardships Saginaw has experienced helped to strengthen his resolve, allowing him to persevere. The pitfalls he once endured has now become one of his greatest assets.
He's very humble. He's simple and really humble. And I think he's seen so many things in his life, so the things that people are going through, he's been there. And so if someone comes up to him and needs his help, whether it's just, if they're having problems, Saginaw's there to help.
The first word that comes to me is humble. Humble, just his humbleness. And the next one would be respect. And then traditions, because he is all about traditions with the native people. And he's always saying that if we lose our traditions, we lose our people. It's like that drum in the powwow, once that drum stops beating, then your heart stops beating. And what happens after that? Well, I don't have to explain that. It's kind of just goes hand in hand. So tradition is the heartbeat of our people.
Saginaw's passion for writing would become his gateway into bigger and better opportunities. His knack for storytelling and his uncanny ability of being in the right place at the right time has taken Saginaw farther than he ever imagined. And it was during a chance encounter at a writing seminar Saginaw would get his big break.
I was at a writer seminar in Bay Area in California. well, here in California, up in San Leandro. And I was holding a writer's teaching class up there. And I was getting ready to go home. I'd been out here pretty close to a week. And I was getting ready to go home, and a young man that was in the class, a client, came up to me one evening. He said, "Can you do a commercial?" I said, "Commercial?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "We want to sell cars. That's what we sell, cars, but we'd like for you to speak on our behalf." He said, "Can you give me some background on what you've done already in life?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I mean on stage or you done any acting at all?" I said, "Well, yeah, I was a reindeer in a Christmas play in the first grade." And he kind of laughed, chuckled, and I didn't say no more. And he said, "Is that it?" I said, "Yeah." I did that commercial, and it was a local commercial, so it was out almost immediately. And the produce company seen it, and they wanted me to do one for them. So I did one for them. And that's how I got started in the business.
Now with more than 42 television and motion picture features under his belt, Saginaw Grant has made a name for himself in Tinseltown.
Bert, what do you want to ride that contraption for?
It's a good question. I guess the reward is in the doing of it, you know?
That truck belong to you?
It does?
I'd like to buy it.
It's not for sale.
His body of work as an actor speaks for itself, and the critics have taken notice with the awards racking up. One of his most recent accomplishments was being presented with the American Legacy Award at the San Diego Film Festival.
This is how I live my life, or try to live my life. I'll help anyone, regardless of the color of their skin. I respect all people that I meet.
Today, Saginaw lives in the Southern California area, pursuing his acting career. He does lectures, counseling, and is always preaching his philosophy to those who will listen.
The things that I do is things that happen all at once, where I feel good afterwards. I do all these things because it makes me feel good. It makes me understand that when you do the right things in life, you're the one that benefits. That's the way I want to be remembered, by being one who understands people and who wants to be understood.
You know, he just has brought me into the community with open arms. I look to him as, you know, we want to follow in his footsteps. He takes such respect for our culture and brings it on set and won't let anybody do anything that isn't authentic. And that's really amazing to me, he's a protector of our culture. And when we're on set with him, he teaches us the old ways, and he wants us to be the next generation to carry this on.
There's only one Saginaw. There is one Saginaw Grant. I mean, to me, he's the most photographed American Indian in the film industry, if you ask me. And, you know, to carry that legacy, whoever will, you have some big moccasins to fill.